Hi all, it's Tom the taxi driver. In this video, I'm going to be talking about when you should be putting in for your map test. So when should you put in for your map test? Now, those of you on the knowledge, this is something that only people that are going for the green badge need to go for. So if you're going for your yellow badge, the suburban sectors, you don't actually need to do the map test. I'm not going to explain about how the map test works. That'll be coming on a future video where I'll break down, how it works, what the scoring procedure is, and things like that. But when should you put in for it? My own personal circumstance, I put in for the map test when I had about 2,500 points of interest. That's been able to know where the point is and how to, do your turnarounds, how to get out of the point, those sorts of things. I'd completed, of course, all of my Blue Book runs, so all 320. Probably started making a start on some of my cross sections and some of those sorts of runs, hospital runs, football runs, that kind of thing. And I've done about 1 month of point to point, calling over with my call over partner. The map test, if you've done your runs and you've done a good amount of pointing, most people say, you need about 2,000 points of interest before you really think about booking your map test. The map test is really, really easy if you've done those things. If you've done the Blue Books, if you call them every day, and if you've done a good amount of pointing. I like to think of the map test as what the theory test of your driving test is to driving a car. Everyone should be able to pass the theory test the first time if they've done the car driving right. And it's the same with the knowledge. If you've been going through the knowledge properly, you should be able to walk into that room with the map test and then pass that pretty damn easy. Pass mark is 60%, so it shouldn't be too bad. What's really important about when you put in for the map test, though, is not that test itself, but the appearances that then start straight after. That is a whole completely different kettle of fish. Map test, like I say, is relatively easy. Appearances are the crux of the knowledge. And once you've done that map test, once you've passed, you'll get a letter back, or I think it's an email now, but at the time I got a letter back and it says, congratulations, Mr. Hutley, you've passed. This is the date of your first appearance. Oh my God, that's what you need to be ready for. So that's why I said that whilst, yes, you've got your completed Blue Books, yes, you've got to get a good amount of points underneath your belt, you need to really start point to point at a good few months before you go for your map test. It's the most nerve-wracking thing in the world. You've been in your own little bubble for a while. You might have had a call over partner, but largely, unless you've been at a knowledge school, all of this, the Blue Books, the pointing, it's all been largely personal. It's all your own journey. And you phone up and say, "Hello, I'd like to book the map test, please." And you nerve-wracking. You get the date and you think, right, I've got to go for this. But it's not. If you've been doing the work right, you should blitz that map test. But it's the work afterwards. It's getting straight onto the appearances. So think really, really carefully. Are you ready for appearances? If you pass that map test, you should pass that map test. But are you ready for appearances? That's the key thing. Also, the map test can be expensive. So let's go back to the scenario if you're not even ready for the map test. So if you think, right, I've nearly finished my Blue Books, I've got a few points, I'm going to put in for the map test. Well, first off, it's £200. So it's a lot of money. If you for the first time you go for it, if you don't make that pass mark of 60%, you get between 30 and 59 points scored on that. You can book it again instantly, but you have to pay £200 each time. It's not like appearances where you pay £400 once, and then it doesn't matter how long your appearance is for, you've paid that £400. The map test, it's kind of like an admin fee. Every time you go for it, it's £200. So ideally, you only really want to do that map test once, because you don't want to have to keep paying £200 every time. It's quite a lot. If you get lower than 30 that first time you do it, you can only book again in 6 months' time. So these things might really be dragging out your knowledge process. There's other scenarios as well. If you fail it the second time, you only get between 30 and 59 points. That's 3 months until you can book again. If it's lower than 30 for your second time round, 9 months' time. You don't really want to be taking those scenarios. But the biggest takeaway I would say from this is that in terms of putting in for your map test is, are you ready for the appearances afterwards? I can't really remember. I think it was about a month after I passed my map test, I had my first appearance. So you really need to be looking at that. Am I ready pretty much now to go for appearances after my map test? You won't necessarily feel ready, but just ensure that you're already doing point to point. If you're doing point to point, if you're looking at the daily sheets and what's coming through, and if you're able to start answering them and feel a little bit confident about calling your own point to point runs, in conjunction with having lots of blue book and lots of points, then go for it. That would be my advice there. Thank you once again for watching this video. Please check out some of my other videos that come up here. And if you found these of value, please do like, comment, and best of all, subscribe. It really lets me know as to how many people are getting value from these videos. I'll see you again soon. Thanks a lot. Take care.